I'm going to talk about something that kind of relates to a video I did, I don't know, months back. And it's about what to do when you lose your hobby motivation. When I say hobby, I mean the building and the painting, not the gaming so much, but you just decide you just don't get in the mood anymore to build new figures or to build the figures you've got sitting, on your table, and you don't paint them. And there are two big ways, and if you watch that video, I'm going to put a link somewhere. But if there are two ways, in my opinion, to deal with problems with hobby motivation. One way is to just basically fake it till you make it, which is to just push. Yeah, you don't feel like it, but just do something, push, go into it, and eventually you get your groove back, if you will. And the other way I called steering into the skid, which means as soon as you start losing your motivation, or if you've lost it for quite a while and you're like, wow, I haven't painted in 2 weeks, just be like, don't worry about it, and just do other stuff, read books, play video games, do whatever. This video that I'm going to talk about, however, is not about that. It's about the first part, the faking it till you make it. If you have motivation problems, if you know what I mean, motivation. If you have problems getting stuff painted, or if you have problems getting stuff built, or you start and then you don't finish, that's a motivation issue. If you have these issues, then probably you have some unfinished, partially finished, nearly finished models somewhere on your workbench or on a shelf or something. You've got stuff that's built and primed, maybe you got as far as that. Maybe it's built, primed, base coated, highlighted, maybe, could be. You could have stuff, seriously, if you're like me, and I'm sure you are exactly like me, you've probably got stuff that's like literally like 3/4 or maybe 5/6 done, just sitting there, just staring at you, just looking at you, not being finished. So what do you do in those situations? Well, you pick on those particular models when your motivation starts to flag. When you are in a situation where you're like, man, I'm just not interested in painting right now or whatever, find a model that is like this close to being done and then finish it, because then you do a little bit of work and you get a finished model. Hooray. So for a little bit of effort, you get a fully finished model. If you were to start a brand new project when your motivation's low and you are staring down the barrel of 20 hours on some big fancy thing that you're working on or whatever like that, that will kill your motivation worse than anything, in my opinion. But if you are like, geez, I don't know, and you just switch gears, grab something that's nearly finished and finish it, that will seriously help you out and make it so that you can move forward and kind of get your groove back, as I like to say, and keep painting. I've got this Demon Prince that I used to have in my Chaos Space Marine army, and I stopped playing 40K basically, so I still got this Prince, and he's mostly finished, as you can see, but his base is not finished. Like, everything else about him is cool, but his base isn't finished painted. And so next time, right now my motivation's actually pretty good. I've been building, I've been painting, but it's next time it starts to flag, that guy's getting a new painted base. He's getting his stuff finished, because honestly, I'll be able to use him now in Age of Sigmar, because, A, round base, that's cool. B, he's red, so I'm going to make him like a Khorne demon, and he's going to hang out with his friends, the Khorne bloodletters, or whatever the hell those dudes are called. They came in the starter box. And boom, right there you go. Extra, built-in Demon Prince. So that's pretty cool. But that's the type of thing I'm talking about. When you are starting to kind of be like, my motivation, grab a project that's nearly done and done it. Seriously, just finish that project, and then boom, your endorphins or whatever. I'm no scientist, but you'll all of a sudden feel good about hobby again. Even if it's not something you're really ever going to use. If it's a project that you were working on and now you don't play that game anymore, or you never really got into playing that game, but you thought you were going to. These Chaos Space Marine Terminators, I spent a lot of time on these three guys. One of them's got a magnetized arm so he can swap weapons. And there's cool rust effects on them and the whole deal. But again, I never finished their bases. Like, I got that close. They're pretty close to being done, but bases not finished. So Something like that, something that's like basically a low-hanging fruit, as they like to say in business, something that you can basically get as a quick win. Huh? See, I pay attention in meetings. Those things are going to make it so that you can go forward and you can get your motivation rolling again. Like I said, if you decide, hey, you know, I just don't feel like putting this entire thing together and then having to, and the priming and then the base coating, grab something else that's been sitting on your desk. I mean, seriously, that Demon Prince has been he's been unfinished for like 2 years. So when I get to a point where I've got just like no motivation, boom, I'll finish him off and it'll be super cool. And he deserves to have a finished base because the rest of him is painted pretty decent. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's just a tip, I guess. I wasn't going to make this a, you know, Uncle Adam's pro tip because it doesn't seem like it seems like it's something that we all should know. But when you have models sitting around that are nearly finished, you should finish them. And if you can use that, you know, quick win to also move your motivation and make you start going forward again, that's even better.